Hulu has been on a great run lately with originals including films like Prey and Not Okay as well as TV shows like Only Murders in the Building and The Bear, but beneath those hits, there are some hidden gems available as well. That is especially true when looking back at the 2000s. The decade was ripe with intriguing TV shows that flew under the radar or were popular for a short while only to have been forgotten since. Thankfully, Hulu has plenty of them available to stream that will make you look back on the era fondly and wonder how you missed these series. Kyle XY, 2006 to 2009. After the massive success of Lost, it seems like every network was trying to find a new intriguing genre show for people to latch onto and get hooked on. ABC Family made their attempt with Kyle XY, which told the story of a teen with no memories, minimal human behaviors, and no belly button. It was the kind of show that caught the eye of viewers when trailers aired, and it kept up an audience for a handful of seasons before ending on an unfortunate cliffhanger. Even if the premise doesn't grab you, fans of The Vampire Diaries might like it since creator Julie Plec wrote and produced Kyle XY. Samantha Who, 2007 to 2009. It's a shame that Samantha Who has become a hidden gem of the 2000s because it was met with strong praise when it was airing. Lead actress Christina Applegate even scored 2 Emmy nominations for her work, while Jean Smart also nabbed one. The show focused on the titular Samantha who forgot who she was after an accident and slowly realizes that she was a selfish person beforehand, so she spent the show trying to make amends. Despite the high quality and strong reviews, viewership dipped in Season 2 leading to cancellation. Greek, 2007 to 2011. Sometimes you just want to watch a funny TV show that is a good time and doesn't have to be taken too seriously. For folks looking for that kind of series, Greek is the perfect choice. Airing on ABC Family, Greek followed the students at an Ohio college involved in the world of fraternities. Although the show wasn't watched by many, there's a lot to like, including cast members like Clark Duke and Amber Stevens. Greek was filled with absurd situations, over-the-top characters, and a fantastic soundtrack that is indicative of the era where it took place. The Unit, 2006 to 2009. There are cop shows that have littered television history for decades, but thankfully, The Unit took a slightly different approach. While things might be relatively similar in terms of the concept, this show centered on a military unit modeled after the Delta Force team of the U.S. Army. The Unit aired on CBS and lasted 4 seasons, but not many people seem to remember it. The series was well received by those who appreciate the genre and had a solid cast including Dennis Haysbert, Robert Patrick, and Scott Foley, among others. All of Us, 2003 to 2007. Those who recognize Dwayne Martin likely know him from White Men Can't Jump, Above the Rim, or appearances on Real Husbands of Hollywood, so many won't remember that he was the lead of a short-lived sitcom during the 2000s. All of Us saw him as a father dealing with his divorce, raising kids, and being in a new romance. With Will and Jada Pinkett Smith as executive producers, it's certainly the kind of show that deserves a watch. It lasted 3 seasons and followed the sitcom tropes most viewers are used, but always found a way to make them fun and give them a unique twist here or there. Cougar Town, 2009 to 2015. Of all of these hidden gems, Cougar Town is probably the one that is the most well-known. It was a big deal upon its debut, marking the return to TV screens by Friends star Courtney Cox. The show's title comes from the idea of an older woman engaging in relationships with younger men. Cox shined as Jules Cobb, but the show was often overlooked because of the premise. However, those who gave it a chance understood that it was genuinely funny, had a tremendous supporting cast, and even had an unexpected crossover with Community that has to be seen. Dollhouse 2009-2010. Almost anything starring Eliza Dushku seems like it screams 2000s, as the actress was at her peak during that time. After major roles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, she landed a lead role at the end of the decade on a show she helped produce, Dollhouse. The high-concept sci-fi series centered on a corporation that erases the identities of young people and imprints them with temporary identities to work for their clients. While reviews weren't overly strong, Dollhouse is often mentioned among shows that were cancelled too soon. Party Down 2009-2010. When it comes to finding hidden gems, the ones that end up catching your eye tend to have cast members who you recognize. That's why people have stumbled upon Party Down, as it features Adam Scott, Lizzie Kaplan, Jane Lynch, Ken Marino, Megan Mullally, Jennifer Coolidge, and so many others. It then helps that the series is hilarious. The show told the story of a group of aspiring actors in Hollywood working together at a catering business and the shenanigans they got into. Interestingly, a revival is actually in development. Make It or Break It 2009-2012. An underrated sports movie is 2006's Stick It, which focuses on a group of female gymnasts, and it helped inspire ABC Family's show Make It or Break It. The show also followed female gymnasts, but these were attempting to make it to the Olympic Games in 2012. Make It or Break It was one of those shows that was seemingly always on the verge of being cancelled, but it was lucky enough to boast a loyal fan base. They kept watching and talking about it online, which has lasted years later, as the biggest fans are still viewing it over and over on streaming services. Afro Samurai 2007. Afro Samurai is a manga series that ran from 1998 until 2002, inspired by the artist's, Takashi Okazaki's, love for hip-hop music. The setup of the series was simple enough, following a samurai who witnessed his father being killed by a gunslinger and vows revenge as he gets older. It's not a new tale, but the style was unique, and it's the kind of story that always works. 2007 saw the release of a miniseries based on the story, with Samuel L. Jackson voicing the titular character. The anime even won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program.